Good evening. We will have team coverage tonight of the final LFAR report that was just released today in just a moment. But first, we are right about high tide for many areas around the First Coast. And even though the rain is finally starting to taper off, the threat of flooding right now is a big concern. And you're looking at pictures and video of flooding sent in by you, our viewers. First Coast News storm expert Lauren Rautenkranz joins us now with more about the nor'easter that's been impacting us this weekend. Lauren?
Yes. Hi, Jeff and Heather. It has been quite a busy weekend here in the Weather Center, especially with the rain that seemed to start late Saturday morning and has been widespread and persistent through much of our Sunday. Finally, some good news is that we are beginning to see the rain taper off in places that are still experiencing the flooding right now, and because of the rain is falling. Now, we're going to be talking about another flood situation with the high tide in just a bit, because we're currently at high tide from Jack's Beach down to Volano Beach, and that water will begin to shift into the St. Johns and back up its tributaries with that wind that is coming out of the northeast. Right now we do have the rain though that's still on our radar. Some spots seeing some heavier rainfall, but again, in the next hour or so, we're going to really begin to watch this activity dwindle, which is going to be some good news finally letting up for folks that have a lot of water around their roadways and neighborhoods. Flood warnings in effect right now for Putnam, St. Johns, and Flagler counties. But again, the tide is coming in as well. So we'll talk about that, and I'll time out the high tide across the First Coast coming up in just a bit, Jeff.